Hello. Today we're here at Meeks Cemetery. Today is John Brown's birthday. He was born on September 9th, 1970. He became able to buy beer on his own 30 years ago today when he turned 21. Before that, when he and my brother would buy beer, this is what they would have to do. They would get a man who was in his early 20s to buy it for him, and then they would split it with him. They'd give him the money, he'd buy a 12-pack, he'd take 6 and give them 6. Now, that's an easy way to get free beer. I mean, if you do that, you can get free beer, but you can also go to jail. So for the viewers who are watching, please do not buy beer for minors. Don't do that, because you can and might go to jail. Now, me and John, we had our good times and our bad times. He pissed me off. He borrowed money, didn't want to halfway pay it back. He'd swap my pills when I wasn't looking. I finally even had to call the police on him. I regretted it though, because he died about 5 or 6 days later. I had the police to tell him that if he came back to my house, he'd go to jail for trespassing. I regret calling the law on him now. I'll tell you something that he did in the year 1985 that pissed me off. Alright, I had an Atari 2600, and because I was able to find video games for like $5 each, I had about 35 Atari 2600 games. Well, John gave this boy his word that I would loan him my Atari 2600 and my 35 games. I didn't know this boy. I'd never met him. And he gave him his word that I'd loan it to him. And he came there. I gave him my word you'd loan it to him. So I don't care. And he kept on. I finally said, I said no, and that's fine. And finally, he got the message and he left. But that still pisses me off to this day. I mean, who did he think he was, giving a complete stranger his word that I would loan my Atari and my games? Because I might could have kissed that Atari 2600 and those games goodbye. This boy might not have been trustworthy. He might have stolen it. Or he might have broke my 2600 and wouldn't want to pay for it. I'll tell you something else too. When John and his girlfriend was evicted from their house, I gave them a place to live rent-free. And John was there stealing. He stole 2 motorcycles that belonged to my brother. They were down there in this building. I hadn't been in that building for a while. And when I found out, I said, John, you got 30 days notice to get the hell off my property. I'll tell you, John, we were friends, but he could be a big fat pain in the ass. And sadly, a boy named Wade Perry died. He died, I think, on the 22nd of July. I think he died from drugs. I'm not for sure. But he turned out to be real mean. I mean, he beat the living shit out of his sister just because she forgot to give him a phone message. Beat her half to death. She had knots on her body when he was done. It's what John told me. And I heard that he didn't even have a funeral. His family didn't even give him a funeral. Now, if he treated his other family members like he did his sister, that explains why he didn't get a funeral. Now Wade, he never got married, or as far as I know he didn't. John, he got married, but not to a good woman, I'm afraid. Well, this has been my video. Thanks for watching.